Just in the car with Rish. We are about to escape Melbourne and go to Ballarat. How exciting is this?
Very.
And the person outside is Rish's girlfriend, but she doesn't know she'll be on the vlog just yet. So we purchased some pork buns from the reputable establishment Noodle Lovers, and we are right now in Bacchus Marsh making a pit stop before we get to Ballarat. So here's the product. Look at that. Can you see the steam? Get the steam. I have washed my hands before this, so just letting you know. Oh, it's too hot. Oh yeah. Huge time. They're quite hot. Yeah. Shout out to Noodle Lovers. Just over there. Great service as well. 10 out of 10 will come again. Thank you, Bacchus Marsh. Very cool. Wait, am I meant to say something?
Do you need to say something?
Oh, okay. So we have arrived in Ballarat, and here is our accommodation. Follow us. It's a very nice, I guess, I don't even know what this area is called. Entrance area. It's very nice. Here's the corridor. Very nice carpet. Not moldy, which is always a good sign. Oh, no, all good. That was Linda, our host mother figure. And this is my room, which has a bit of a French twist to it. Take me back to the Palace of Versailles in France. Check out the bed. And this is a very fancy wardrobe. They call it an armoire. And it's got my shirts in it. You might notice that there's a lot of mirrors in this room, which some people might find creepy, but I think it just gives it that extra dimension. Alright, now follow me to the rest of the house. So this is the shared living area. Looking very clean and tidy. There's the fridge, here's the heater, here's the stove and oven. As you can see, I'm quite good at naming household objects. Good morning everyone, welcome to breakfast making with Rish. What are you making?
Smoothie.
Smoothie.
To get ripped.
Easy.
1 scoop.
2 scoops.
Half a scoop. Half.
3 scoop.
Yeah. Too much protein in the morning.
4 scoop.
Yeah, just keep it at 1.5.
Yeah.
Let's put a banana in there.
Mine's a bit bigger. My bunch of bananas, just to clarify, for the viewers.
I open from the tip, so you get less peels.
I like that expert technique. This man knows how to handle a banana.
And then a little bit of I like them rolled.
Yep.
A bit of texture.
Oh yeah.
And and some peanut butter. This has the fats to keep you full throughout the day. It's really loud.
Nice. Beauty. How does it taste?
Nutty. Thick. Filling.
All words I would use to describe Rish.
Well.
So I'm here today to get a skin test for allergies. I get pretty bad hay fever, and we're trying to find out what's the trigger. So like things like ryegrass, dust mites, etc.
Right.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to draw on your arm first. So it's 13 little skin pricks we do.
13.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, those little pricks.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll show you it when I'm done, the tiny little needle.
Barely feel it. Oh, I felt that one.
Yeah.
Spoken too soon.
You did. Right, so you might...
Feeling good? How long do we
Just
wait
going to
for?
show you 14 minutes. That's the, you see the size of that needle?
Ah.
Really tiny, 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 tiny.
Yep.
One's a 5 straight off, I can tell.
Yep.
Definitely nothing there. Getting that tail, it's got a bit of a tail on it.
Yeah.
1.5.
So we're just scoring
Yeah.
the...
So width and length and divided by 2 basically.
Yep. Just putting a bit of steroid cream on
Shape the
them.
lumps even more.
I'll show you guys my medical record.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. Not a problem.
So it looks like ryegrass, timothy grass, and dust mites are my mortal enemy. By the way, here's my own consulting room. Pretty groovy, isn't it? If you have been following this channel for a while, you would know that I'm a huge fan of the gym. However, given the current COVID situation and just me not having a gym membership here in Ballarat, we're going to have to get creative with our workouts. So I found this good spot around Lake Wendouree, and let's get to it. Let's start with some dips. There's actually about 4 or 5 different workout stations scattered around the lake. However, this one is my favorite. It's got both dips where I can train my chest and triceps, as well as pull-up bars where I can train my back. So it's got pretty much everything I need. I also got myself a kettlebell off of Amazon, so I can train some shoulders as well as legs. And that's a wrap for the workout. You start rolling? Mm-hmm. All right. Feeling pretty hungry. Let's get some food. It's burger time. Oh wait. Yeah, good thanks. What would you like? Could I please have 2 burgers with a lime? And then 2 Nutella donuts. Hang on, let me put my seat back a little bit so there's more space. You won't be able to because there's a dumbbell behind. There's a kettlebell behind. Sorry. Alright, we've started rolling, but don't worry, I can just cut bits out.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Alright, we've got our food. Very excited. Where's your burger, Rish?
Yeah.
Go to camera. Let's do a taste test first. Burger with the lot, which doesn't actually look that big. But there you go. It's a nice burger.
That's warming.
Yeah.
I might inhale this pretty quick.
Alright, so we are in our essentially second last week of our GP placement.
We just finished our second last week.
Yeah, we finished our second last week. And I think, you know, we've kind of seen enough to be able to talk to you guys a bit about our experience and I guess the key takeaways. So I'll maybe get Rish to start. How has your experience been?
It's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, it's been really awesome. I've learned more than I thought I'd learn. I think primarily because it's a very one-on-one relationship.
Yep.
Each time you go in, and so the learning is not very diluted. It's full on.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm getting a lot.
Yep.
For me, at least for us, it was great to have the GP at the end of the year.
Yep.
Because it being a GP, very generalist,
Yeah.
you see a variety of the presentations that we saw in our specialty rotations prior.
Yep.
So it was a great way to revise, to consolidate, and also see, what areas are you lacking on,
Yep.
so we can start studying for it for the exam later on.
Yeah, but for those of you who are starting GP in the first semester and, doing your women's and peds in the second semester, GP is, I guess, a very good introduction to some of the key topics that you will face later on. I would say for peds, because peds is such a wide and broad topic that if you haven't done the peds rotation, obviously you won't know a lot of the key presentations, but when in doubt, RCH guidelines is your best friend. So assuming you're doing parallel consulting in your office and say they present with a rash and a fever, you can just look up the Royal Children's Hospital's guidelines for rash and fever and then just go down. It's very clear and concise. Just go down the algorithm and that will help you kind of have a differential.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend for peds. And for women's, I think for GP, the most important things to know are kind of the more preventative health side of women's health. So things like cervical screening pathway and contraceptive counselling. Probably the two big ones, and a bit of STI testing. Don't worry too much about antenatal care and pregnancy and all that, because unless your GP specialises in that area, GPs don't really do.
I don't think they're allowed to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
don't do
you're
antenatal stuff.
trained.
So don't stress about that too much. Another thing to note is that every GP clinic is run a bit differently. So, for example, my GP clinic has me following 4 doctors, and I mainly stick with one. So, the other 3, I mainly just sitting with their consult, and then the other one I get to do some parallel consulting. So my time is split roughly 50% with the GP that allows me to do parallel consulting, and then 50% with the other 3 GPs who are sitting and kind of observe how they do things. And I found that to be a good balance. How does yours run, Rish?
Yeah, like you said, it's very different. Mine is, my GP clinic has a number of GPs. I think around 8 GPs. And so how it works for us is there's a roster that they assign at the start of our rotation. Where each day in the morning we go with one GP, and then after lunch it's another GP. And in terms of, so you have a supervising GP. I've actually seen him the same amount of time as I've seen everyone else there. But he's just the point of call for everything university related. Otherwise, I've spent my time shared around everyone else, so I'm getting a variety of experience on how different GPs run their own practice.
Yeah, I think a main thing is that if you're able to do parallel consulting, so not every GP is equipped with an additional office for the student. So when you don't have that, it's kind of hard to expect them to accommodate you with parallel consulting. So I guess if you really want to do parallel consulting, consider opting for rural GP, just because there's a slightly better chance of doing that. Speaking of variation between different clinics, tell us about your GP a bit more, Rish, because I heard some.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's been good fun. My GP supervisor.
Yeah.
I remember the first day when I went to him, I really didn't know what was going on, like with the whole GP stuff, because I didn't really talk to anyone about what their experiences was or whatever. I just went in, keen to learn. So I literally told them that, I'm keen to learn, which is what I'd advise everyone to do. But the interesting experience with my GP is he's a very lateral thinker. And very lateral thinker. Initially, I was a bit scared because he's a big advocate for acupuncture and more so laser therapy acupuncture. So using the
laser.
Using the trigger points. But using lasers you can buy online. They're pretty cheap, but their function is to provide a very specific nanometer frequency light. And target certain points using acupuncture theory. And when I saw it firsthand for the first time, I was a bit shocked because
I guess in medical schools they kind of push you away from all the CAMS, complementary medicine stuff. But I
mean, acupuncture has a lot of science to it, and it's WHO recommends it for a lot of conditions. But laser therapy was something I'd never heard at medical school. But saying that, in first day I was a bit shooketh. Because for that reason, I know you never hear about it and you think CAMS, this is evidence-based medicine. But throughout the weeks, as I was sitting in with his consults, and I started to realize the ethic behind it. So he explained to me everything about it. The patients he does these therapies to are patients that have tried
everything else,
evidence-based medicine, and either it hasn't worked, or it's actually caused a lot of side effects that are detrimental to the patient. And at that point, when evidence-based medicine fails, this guy has gone and done a lot of research on lateral, like very radical things, and patients love it. If the patient's loving it and it's not causing harm, which it doesn't, it's perfect therapy. Their pain's reduced is what they say. And pain is very subjective. So when they say their pain is reduced and you're not giving them a medication with tons of side effects. So it started to... The learning I got was, as a GP, it's important for you to think laterally when you need to.
And I think on that topic, it's important to come into this GP rotation with an open mind and try and keep your expectations low. What I mean by that is don't come in with a bucket list that you have to tick off. For example, I came into this rotation expecting, in terms of procedures, I would do a lot of vaccinations, I would take a lot of bloods. But what I ended up doing, procedurally at least, 99% of the time is burning off solar keratoses with a Q-tip dipped in nitrogen. And that's what I did. And that was a good experience for me. And, as Rish was talking about before, when he first, I guess, looked up his GP or encountered his GP, he was kind of apprehensive about it. But because, he's been able to keep an open mind, he ended up getting a lot out of it.
I think every GP, you'll learn something great. You learn a lot of stuff. It's all about what you put in.
And even if, for some reason, your GP is quote-unquote bad, at least you can learn what not to do when you practice. For example, if you see the way they interact with the patient and you see how it backfired, that's an important lesson to take away so you don't repeat the same mistakes in the future.
I saw a lot of that. There's some GPs were a bit more risky in how they talk. Some GPs a bit more very mechanical in how they talk. And some GPs are, in my opinion, great. And I took learnings away from it.
I think even when you're not doing parallel consulting, it's actually great to be watching those kind of doctor-patient interactions. Like kind of cherry-pick the good styles and try to not repeat the bad styles for yourself. All right, here we have a donut break. Oh yeah, they look good. So we got Nutella donuts. Want to take one, Wish? And I'll give you some tissue.
Thank you.
So you can...
They've seen enough, Tony. I need to eat this.
All right, let's go digging.
Oh,
Mmm.
oh my goodness.
Thoughts?
What the fuck is this?
I
Sorry.
have to censor that.
Oh no. It's amazing.
Mmm.
There's Nutella.
I know. That's alright, I'll keep it in. I don't make money from this anyways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You monetize.
that's right.
That was a genuine reaction.
Exactly. Now onto the juicy topics that I'm sure some of you would like to know, which is how should you do your preferencing for your GP rotation. So as you know, before you start your GP rotation, you get sent an email and you can preference, is it 12?
I think so.
Yeah, you can preference 12 different GP clinics. I ended up getting my 5th preference and Rish got...
Third or fourth.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th preference. So keep in mind that most people don't actually get their top preference for GP rotation. I had a good mate of mine who lives, I think, literally 50 minutes walk from his top preferenced GP. And we were all kind of under the assumption that it's based on location. So you get preferenced based on how close you live to the hospital. But he didn't end up getting it. And I found out that someone who lives quite far away from that clinic, who actually put it as their like 5th or 6th preference, got it. So I think the main thing to keep in mind is that whatever you put in your top, I'd say 7 or 8 preference, needs to be clinics that you would actually be happy to be at.
And that goes back to the point that don't have an expectation.
Yeah.
Just look into all the GP clinics that are in the list and don't expect you'll get the ones you want the most.
So keep your expectations low. And that's it for the vlog. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you have any questions regarding the GP rotation at Unimelb, drop a comment below or reach out to me on my social media and I'll try my best to help. See you guys in the next video.